The Staincast.
What is the Staincast?
Stain?
Stain. Who is Stain?
Am I dreaming?
Yes.
What's going on,
Stain.
guys, and welcome back to episode 99 of the Staincast. Of course, as usual, I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. Stephen E. With me, as always,
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Staincast. You heard him right, 99.
sir. Yes, sir. We're getting there.
We got
One
one
more
more
left.
episode until the big one hundo. We hope you guys will tune in for that one because we got a little something off brand, a little something off kilt, off the schedule.
Yes, sir. Just something just to celebrate this past year, or not even year, fucking almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that next week. First things first, of course, as you guys probably have noticed, this episode is a week late. We apologize. Life happens. Arcane is a pretty long series or season that we had to cover, especially coming off the Tales of Secret Invasion, even though DL didn't even watch Secret Invasion.
Fuck that show.
It's just we just needed the extra week. Like we said, life happens. This isn't our full-time job. It won't ever be our full-time job. So sometimes we just gotta push this to the side. But here we are, of course, back at it, back to your regularly scheduled program. But before we get into Arcane Season 1, we have a lot to talk about. A lot has come out over these past 2 weeks. First and foremost, starting with The Marvels, the best movie to come out of 2023. No, that movie's fucking ass. I mean, it wasn't ass. Okay. I want to finally get my thoughts out there, because I've talked to about it with Mumbarella a little bit, because he's the only other one who's seen it. The movie kind of feels like it just happens. It's not anything too spectacular. I think that the chemistry between the three leads was pretty good. Aman Vellani is great, and I think that Kamala was probably my favorite character in that movie. The villain was ass, and the writing was all right. Like it kind of just happened. It's a middle of the packed movie. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. It just kind of exists. That's it.
That's nice. Yeah, I won't be watching that movie. I'm good with that. I'm done watching mid-movies. I'm done spending 2 hours watching a movie that's just happens. Like, I'm good with that. I'm so good with that.
And honestly, it's. I don't think you really will need to watch it. But like the scenes that you'll need to watch are the last two, and you can find
And they
them.
look like shit. And they look like shit.
Well, the post-credit scene does. The one before that's fine.
I mean, it's just a fucking green screen. I mean, whatever. I won't spoil it. I know you guys are dying, absolutely dying to know what happened in the Marvels. I was too. I couldn't wait. I had to see it online. Nothing prepares you for this. Especially, I mean, either of those post-credit scenes. Woo!
Yeah, but it was, like I said, it just happened. Getting into the actual best thing to come out of the last 2 weeks, Loki Season 2 ended. God fucking damn.
Yeah, that shit was tough. That shit was really good.
That's what Marvel needs to get their shit back too. That was some premier acting, writing, fucking everything.
Yeah. I mean, I was even saying it to the guys. It's like, it's a damn shame that it's like Marvel's best TV show is now Loki, and it replaces Loki. Like, that's the beef I got. It's like, it's an absolutely fantastic show. Season 2 I probably like a little more, just for the obvious reason that like Season 2 kind of is just a continuation. Like, I mean, the finale of Season 2 is literally the same name as the first episode from they're all tied together is what I'm trying to say. It's a very, very tight-knit story. There's not much straying going on, at least from like the main, like the themes of one, you'll find in two, whatever. Shit, what was I talking about? Oh, it's like Season 1 and Season 2 is so good, but then like even like the next one down, what is it? Probably WandaVision. Like even after seeing Season 1 and Season 2, it's like it's just you can't touch either of them. Like, because if WandaVision had a Season 2, which it won't. Like, there's just literally no reason for it. It wouldn't be as good. Moon Knight.
Hey.
Moon Knight I'd be interested in seeing a Season 2 of, just because I think
Moon Knight
Season
probably
1
will have a Season 2.
Yeah, well, it'll probably come out in 10 years, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we'll
Moon
see.
Knight, like Moon Knight, out of like some of the best MCU shows, are like is the only one I can actually see a sequel being not necessary, but like worth the watch. All the other ones are like too far and away now.
Yeah, I mean, Miss Marvel is another one that probably will get a sequel. I mean, we said it when we covered it. Like, it's not a bad show. It's just not for us. So if that one
No,
gets a sequel, that's fine. Like, I wouldn't be surprised too, especially because, like I said, even in the Marvels, it was
I mean, I guess speaking of sequels, literally friggin' What If is getting a sequel
Oh
for
yeah,
some reason.
I mean that's been known for a while.
Yeah,
That season 2 was coming out.
I've just seen. I feel like it's just kind of like just different dates have been thrown around for that season 2 forever though. Like
Yeah,
it was
I
kind of
mean,
at the point where I was like, one of these days they're just gonna say a date and that's gonna be it, and that's what happened today.
yeah. So the issue with all fucking projects in Hollywood right now is everything's getting delayed and this, that, and the other. So it's like I don't take any dates not even until we get a trailer. Because even when we get trailers, dates get fucking pushed back. But
Yeah,
until it's like the day that or before it's coming out, and they're like, yeah, it's still coming
yeah,
out tomorrow. I don't believe it. But it does seem like we have an official date for What If being December 22nd. It's coming out all 9 episodes, one each day
I
after
saw
each,
that.
which I like. I think that all of their animated shows should do that if they're going to continue that, because that's a great structure for these animated shows.
Yeah, I'll see how it plays. Is it even gonna come out Christmas night too?
Yeah,
You think?
but
Hmm.
but there is a Christmas episode, so I think that's why it's going to come out on Christmas Day.
Christmas night, yeah.
But I read the episode titles. All the episode titles line up to clips that we've seen in the trailer. But I gotta say, it does look pretty good. I am interested. I mean, we have it looks like a couple of continuations from season 1, which I'm fine with, and the new stuff that they introduced looks really fucking interesting as well. But what if season 1 was pretty fucking mid, other than like 3 episodes? So that's the only thing that has me a little wary. However, I will just let this play out, and if it's good, great. If it's, I just hope that at least it has on par to the amount of good episodes that season 1 had,
3
and
out of
not less.
9. Oh my god. We're out here saying 33% of a series is good now. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. How far we've come. How far we've come from greatness.
I mean, I think that you also say some certain episodes are a little worse than they actually are too.
I mean, the finale is straight up dog shit.
No, I don't want to talk about the finale. We all know I have my problems with that finale, and that has not changed. Do not get me started on that fucking
Yeah.
finale.
It's like
Um,
that's the lens I'm seeing it from. It's like for me, like everyone views and like appreciates movies and shows differently, but for me, if you fuck up the finale, I'm kind of done with you. It's like you you have 9
yeah,
episodes to get your shit together. Like you have 9 episodes. Was it? How many episodes was season 1? Whatever it was,
No,
like 9,
it was
10, or whatever.
9. It was
You have
9.
9 episodes. You have 9 episodes to get your shit together. 9 whole episodes. If the first couple episodes got to be shitty in the idea of making it end good, do it. But like
So
they
do
always
it.
gotta start.
It ain't
They
about how you
start off.
start, it's about
They
how you finish.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. It's like they always start off and they just are trying to do so much so early to be like, hey guys, please watch the show. Please look at all this stuff that's happening, and then they just can't finish it at the end because naturally they fucking introduce too much stuff, or they just straight up just change plot for when it's convenient. Which I mean, sure.
The Infinity
But we
Crusher is one of the most fucking retarded things I've ever fucking heard of. I absolutely despise that thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're like I don't know. I have so many question marks that I don't even want answers to when it comes to
But
that finale.
but besides the finale, it is pretty self-contained, so
Yeah,
I am excited to see what those stories are going to be. I mean, already saw 2 baby girls in there, so I'm fine. I am more than fine with that already. We saw
I don't
fucking
know.
both Kate Blanchett and fucking uh, Scarlet Witch.
Really, I saw
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're talking about Hella. Yeah,
Ella
yeah,
finds
I
the Ten
seen that.
Rings, which I also think is interesting that we're actually getting characters from Phase
Some
4
Shang-Chi.
already. Yeah, we're getting some Shang-Chi. It looks like we're getting some others in there as well.
Huh.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah,
It's very
I did remember. I did remember seeing some rings in the actual 10 rings there. I'm like, oh
Yeah, the
shit,
10
these
Rings are
still
in there.
exist.
So when will this is the first time we're seeing anything about fucking Shang-Chi since 2021, but at least we're finally getting it.
That movie came out in 2021. I thought that movie came out before COVID for some reason.
Nope,
It
none of
didn't.
Phase 4 coming out before COVID.
Huh. I guess that whole year just got fucked. Okay, yeah, no, I believe it because it was.
2020, because 2019 was Endgame, and then the
Oh, yeah,
fucking
you're
the
right. Yeah, I
world
just
went
have
to
my
shit
years
right
mixed.
after that.
You're right.
So, but I guess moving on from that, the only other we talked about the finale of Gen V, but we did not talk about the premiere of Invincible. Did we? No, we did.
Mm.
I think we might have.
I thought we did. I mean, at least I know I remember speaking to all the guys down here about it. I know we've already spoken about how we're kind of like, I'm just not very excited for a show that's just gonna take a mid-season break and fall off a cliff for like whatever they said, 2 to 5
3 to
months or
5 months.
something.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I enjoy Invincible. I got absolutely no problem with the show, but
I've
like,
only
why the
watched
fuck are
the first
you?
episode. I think it's up to 2 or 3 now. I've only watched the first one, and honestly, even after the first one, like you said, I have no excitement to continue to watch it past
Yeah,
because it's going to take a break, and then like I might just
yeah,
wait until it all finishes up, or at least until it comes back and is going to finish up.
yeah. No, yeah. I like. Especially if they have like some sort of cliffhanger or something. Like that's a really long time for a cliffhanger. Like if they make that third, 'cause what is it? They said they were doing like the first 3 episodes or something, or was it
It's the
more
first
than that?
four, and then the last four, or first five,
Hmm.
last five. It's like
Yeah.
exactly half.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I just really kind of just forgot it came out, to be honest with you. Like I've still been like I'm just rewatching. I guess I watched Arcane too, so that would probably be another reason why I haven't been. Cause I'm kind of curious why I haven't been watching the new episodes. Yeah, it's probably just I've been busy and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I also haven't watched. I've only watched episode one,
Yeah,
but
me too.
after that, it's still like you said, there's a mid season break.
Yeah, I don't like, and it's not like it's like a decent chunk of episodes. It's like 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, that's it. After waiting, God knows how long since season one, like that's a little slimy.
Yeah, but besides that, time to tap into something that we've actually enjoyed. Arcane season one. This was my first time seeing it. DL, this was your second,
Third,
third, third
yeah, I've seen it
time.
3 times.
I will say, as first time watching it, there's a lot to take in there,
It's tough. It's so
especially
tough.
especially as someone who has never watched or played or done anything with League of Legends.
I mean,
I know you haven't either, but it's still tough. It is still a tough
yeah,
show. But I think originally what had put me off from when this show first came out was the whole League of Legends banner, because I had no interest, no nothing into
no.
that. But I will stand corrected because the show is pretty tough.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Especially with Netflix too. Like Netflix kind of has just the
Mid.
reputation, at least in my opinion, of just putting out shows just for like name brand, being like, "Hey guys, it's a League of Legends clone. Like it's just basically a show that takes place in the League of Legends universe. Come watch it." And even like the cast was pretty good, but usually voice acting has a pretty good cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like there wasn't anyone on the cast that kind of drew me to it personally. Obviously Haley Steinfeld, but like when you can't see her in person, it kind of takes away a little bit
I
from.
mean, not
Yeah,
really.
yeah. No, I mean I don't even remember how I came about the show. It might have been Ryan who recommended it to me. Someone I know it was a recommendation because I don't often just like kind of look, especially on Netflix. I don't really browse on Netflix. I feel like I
I don't
normally
even have
want.
access to a Netflix
Yeah,
regularly.
yeah. I don't even know whose Netflix I use at this point. All I know is I have one. I don't really ask questions like whose is it or anything like that. Yeah, I never browsed on Netflix though, so for my first time watching it too. I mean, like you said, it's a lot to take in. Like there is a lot of going. It's
There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of
yeah.
story. There's a lot going on. Like
Hmm.
it is a lot.
Yeah, but it's nice though too because I know I don't even know if I've even spoken about it on here before, but usually it is kind of hollow. Where like I'm not a huge fan when they just like take the characters. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like it takes the characters, but doesn't bring any of the actual like the stuff that
More
makes the
from
stuff
the
that
game.
actually makes. Yeah, exactly. Like Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't some big thing because some guy like because of a bear in a fucking suit like that. Like I feel like there's so much more to the. I didn't even play the game myself, but I know that just after watching the movie, I'm like, there's so much more to this story than just like some guy who's like a fucking security guard at a like abandoned kids like place or something like that, right?
I mean,
You don't think so? I
eh.
mean, okay.
I mean,
So I said,
like so I watched gameplay of the games. I'm sure as most people did as kids. I never actually played them myself, but
yeah. I mean, it is a mobile
yeah,
game too, though. So yeah, I could see that.
but it's also like my biggest thing for me is like the fort building scene. That was so random.
Yeah,
Like it was
I did.
fine. It was a fine movie. It just needed a better rating,
Mm.
and it needed to just I don't know not exist.
I mean, it's just the horror. We've spoken about this at length before. The horror genre is just so fucking saturated, where you have to be doing something very unique, or the story itself has to be very unique. At least for me to be intrigued by a story nowadays, it's like if you're just gonna kill people and you're not first, you're not going to show it, which is already an
That's
X in
already
my
a big
book.
red flag for me.
Yeah, exactly. But so even if you're showing it, it's like you got to do something more than just showing people dying at this point. And I know it sounds like fucked up or something, however you guys want to take that. But I mean, for anyone who watches horror knows it's like
I need to see
it
some gore.
wasn't. Yeah, one gore because that kind of adds to the suspense of it and like the overall atmospherics. But it wasn't even. I guess it's like a kids movie. I can't say it wasn't scary because it wasn't made for us. But I mean, we're the ones who played it, so
It's not good, but
yeah,
yeah, that's a bad video game adaptation. I mean,
yeah.
this one, I don't know if you can even call it an adaptation because, from my understanding, it loosely uses the lore from the games.
Yeah, no, that's the point I was making. I really went on a side right here, but usually I don't like when they do that. When they kind of just take like the Five Nights at Freddy's example, where it kind of just like picks what it wants to. It's like, hey, here's the iconic parts of this franchise. That's really all we're giving you. We're not bringing like the actual nuance of the franchise itself, I don't know that kind of stuff. But I agree with you. Like, I mean, as someone who hasn't played League of Legends, I think the places, I think the character names, obviously the like the magic stuff, the oh my god, Jesus, Arcane, literally just the Arcane itself. It took me a second. Like I know all that stuff, like all like the set, like all the
The major like aspects of it are
yeah,
from League
exactly.
of Legends,
But
but the
I
story
mean,
itself is
as
not.
far yeah, like as far as I know, League of Legends is like a fucking MOBA where you're just like going around.
It's like
It's like
Smite,
it's
kind of,
it's like,
right?
it's like a battle arena. I thought.
I don't know. I don't like we said we don't play League, so uh, we're not the best.
Designers Jeff Kaplan.
Yeah, is he actually one of the fucking designers on that shit?
Yeah, it's all like the same guys who fucking made all these older games.
Jeff Cap.
And Keller, I'm pretty sure he's the new current guy over. Okay, uh, I'm trying to see what's. It's like I know we've seen trailers for the game, but I also preface for this is that I really didn't grow up playing PC as much as I guess some of you guys did. Because like
Oh,
I know this, I know this was a big game on PC growing up. This was
I
one of
never
those
played
games.
many PC games either. I was a big console guy. I'm still am.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm looking through this. Yeah, like I'm trying to find one compare. I'm trying to find a character. Oh, let me. Nah, whatever. Doesn't matter. I agree with you though. I was like kind of surprised because I was expecting to watch it. Like, all right, now we're just gonna get like a TV show version of the game,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, correct us if we're wrong, but I don't think this is very accurate. I mean, I can look it up, but
Yeah, but I agree. But I guess then we can just excuse me, go down and start breaking this down with our favorite and least favorite characters. LD.
Hold on one second. There's a couple things.
Always tossing.
Hold up.
Always tossing. I'll go back to reading One Piece.
No, you're good. Okay. I mean, favorite character's got to be Silco. He's the fucking man.
He's
He's a
kinda
slime. Yeah, he's a slime ball. He's an OD slime ball. Let me just get my notes in front of me.
sure who voices him again? Jason.
I was looking he voices a lot of fucking people. The guy who voices Silco. If you just go to his IMDb,
I'm going through his IMDb now. He's Scorpion and fucking Spider-Man
he's so many.
in the game.
Just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling.
He's the Joker in Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
He's in Young Justice. Jesus Christ.
he just anyone who needs like a villain, I'm guessing character, a villain voice, he's just that.
He's Forager.
He's everything, man. Yeah, like
He's Curious George.
voice acting is a fucking really good occupation to be in, bro. Because these guys, it's always like they get one and then they just like stay on all these projects, like.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not. I mean, I'm sure it's like compared to the acting, like with a camera in front of a camera, like must be a lot easier.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's got.
but it's got to be Silco.
Yeah, and then I guess again, honorable mention would probably have to be Vi, just because she's pseudo main character. Although I think her and Jinx would probably be like the co-main characters, I guess you'd say.
Character. I'd say that Vi is more main character than Jinx is, though. Oh, did you freeze?
You're cutting out.
I just said that I think Vi is more main character than Jinx would be. Slightly. I guess that
Yeah.
it is a story about both of them.
Yep.
And they're they're two different ways they were raised and
Yeah.
etc.
Nature versus nurture. Yeah.
Yeah. But I still think that Vi is definitely more main character.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it also just comes into the fact that I was about to say Zendaya, Haley Steinfeld just has, she just has more of a
Her voice is
career. She's
beautiful.
and that too, yeah, and she's just a really good voice actor. Like she is very very good in this. Like the way she expresses her emotions, even like the way she does like her mocap. Like I'm assuming is the way that they would do it. Like she's very expressive as a cartoon character. Like even her yelling, her screaming, her jumping, and the animation. I mean, we'll talk about that soon. But just the way that they animate it does a lot for the characters as well.
Yeah, I mean that. I think a lot of that also the expression builds up to a lot of the facial animation because one of the biggest things that help you feel the emotion of a character in real life is their facial emotions because you can equate that to something you've seen, you feel, and some of the best animations that like help you feel these emotions have that. I mean, look at Into and Across the Spider-Verse. The facial animations when they're in their costumes even are brilliant and you could feel all of their emotions. And I'd say this is pretty similar to that where with just how you feel that level of emotion, the facial animation and all of the animation in general. The way that they blend the 2D and the 3D animations where they have 3D models with some 2D textures, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's definitely Spider-Verse-esque in terms of like there's a lot of uniqueness and originality to a lot of the backdrops. Like it's not just as simple as just like some CGI backdrop for whatever the style they use to make these characters. There's it's so much like a living, breathing, and it adds also to the backgrounds too, like the city, like the Undercity, and then the
whatever the grandiose
whatever the hell the name of that place is. Like it just adds to that too.
Yeah, I mean, I love to go on a little side tangent now that we brought up the two cities, whatever. I love the opposite aspect of it. You have this grand gold
Piltover.
Like,
that's what it's called. Piltover.
Like this huge thing, or city, beautiful city up top. Like they're all wealthy. Like living the best, whatever. And then you go down below, complete opposite. Lots of neon colors, lots of grim colors, um, drug addicts everywhere, fucking low lifes and thieves, and we see like just the way that I'm getting too far ahead of myself in my brain here when I'm trying to speak. Just the way that they show how different, yet also how similar that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I'd say the
I mean,
cities
yeah,
the cities are characters of their own.
yep. I mean, even to your point, like the use of colors that they use, I feel like the Undercity definitely has like a darker palette. I feel like it's I mean, for the obvious reason of it being a lot of it being underground and shit.
Yeah,
Obviously,
they
it's
have
gonna be darker.
a lot of like neon lights cutting through
Yeah.
like the dark blacks and blues,
Mm-hmm.
reds.
Yep. Who's your least favorite character?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I
I
feel like
could probably.
most of the
I could.
characters did their thing. And like what they need.
Yeah.
What is that little hairy dude called?
Oh.
What's the small one? What the hell is his name?
Let me just look it up. Yeah, I know. I know you're talking about.
Probably him.
Counselor.
Heimdinger? Is that
Yeah,
him?
Heimerdinger. Yeah.
Heimerdinger? Yeah, him, I guess.
Yeah, he's fucking hideous.
I don't like the way he's looking. I really don't.
Yeah. He's also like a textbook old head.
Yeah,
It's like he's
afraid to
always
change
like
their
freaking.
ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about you? What would you say your least
I mean,
favorite?
Heimerdinger just for the whole series, but if I was just gonna like do before the time jump,
Hmm.
I'd probably just give it to Powder because she really like it's one of those things where she really just fucks up everything. Like I know, like that whole thing happened so she could get with Soko and shit. Um, it just annoys the fuck out of me because then now I've seen it a couple times too. So like you literally like that one scene where they're about to break out, like they actually like all of them are just chilling like in that prison cell area. Then she like has that monkey bomb basically. It just fucks all of them up. First of all, it's hilarious watching them all get smoked. Like
Smoke.
they yeah they were OD. Like they made sure like there was no maybe we didn't see this person's body. Maybe they'd come back or no. Like they
They were
all
smoked. They were dead.
yeah they got
Deceased.
yeah
Gone. Finito.
yeah absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, Heimerdinger would be like the only one I'd say like, throughout the entire series for the reason I gave it. Like he's someone's got to be like that adult, like that role of like, oh, just because we can't do this, should we do it? Sure,
Doesn't mean you
fine,
should.
but you got to let Jace cook. You got to let him cook.
Yeah. Um. Now, something I wanted to bring up. I remember what I was going to say now. I was saying, so you might not even know the answer to this or not, but this released in like 3 episode chunks, correct?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I
What
believe
is
because
what?
everything I've read online, like it did. I didn't know if you watched it as it came out, or if you
Nah,
watched
no.
it all out. But
Does season 2 have a fucking release date?
everything I've read online says it released in 3 episode chunks. It was like Act 1, 2, and 3, which I mean you can see that structure in the episode itself. Like with the first
Damn,
three, third three. What are
since
you seeing right now?
since when season 2 got a fucking release date?
It's November
Apparently
2024, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
wild. I
son.
mean, I guess you could just look at it. They dropped in 3 chunks, and then I'm assuming the finale dropped by itself. If I had to guess. Oh no, so it is. So it is 9 episodes. Yep. So it was three, and
The
three.
three.
Okay, I thought so. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool. I mean, separate the acts like
Yeah,
that.
it was November of 2021. I feel like I must have watched it very soon after it came out, though. Like I want to say it must have been like that spring.
Like right after. So
I
it might
probably
have been
watched
like
it.
right around
Yeah.
the third act coming out.
Yeah, no, like I watched it because like I'm looking at this day because the last episode came out Saturday, November 20th, 2021. I feel like I watched it that winter, but I'm not 100% sure. I know it wasn't out for that long when I started watching it, but shit, it's a treat for real.
True, true, true. And I guess speaking about how it is a treat, would you like to go into some of your favorite and least favorite scenes?
Hmm. So least favorite I already said was them getting smoked, all our friends getting smoked, because that
Yeah.
right when I thought that monkey was gonna stop clapping, it just kept fucking going. But it's just one of those classic scenes where you just think about like, oh, can you imagine if she didn't fucking do that? Like if they actually got away and all the terrible shit that wouldn't have happened, etc. It always just has you wondering. That's probably my least favorite. My favorite is I'm just gonna give it to an episode to the finale. Uh, the finale is just fucking beautiful. Like
I was going to talk
it's
about the finale, but you can talk by all means. By all means, talk about the finale.
yeah.
I love me a good tragic
It's what
ending.
that's what I'm saying. It's what I'm talking about when I'm saying as soon as you have a bad finale, you're kind of dead to me, because this show had like it started off a little slow, but that's just the nature of like a connected universe like this, I guess you'd call it, or like an adaptation where there's just so
You
much
got to
to
get some
throw at
exposition.
you. Yeah, exactly. Like you got to dump like, hey, what like just questions that kind of just add to the quality of life of watching the show. Um, you really couldn't just start it off and be like, hey, like these problems are going on, and then like don't give any attention to it because then you really don't have any connection to these events. Um, but I mean that like, come on now, that whole finale. Um, really, I mean
That
the ending
finale is beautiful.
itself, like you said, like just the fact that just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, like they finally like
does.
talk Jinx down. She's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna blow up everybody in the council." I mean, first of all, fuck the council, anyways. Um, I got no love for him except Mel, but we'll talk about her.
We'll
We
talk
will
about her
talk
in a minute.
about. Oh yes, we will. Let's see. We'll put that on the back burner for now. We'll tab that page.
Yeah, she. We'll put a pin in her, and we'll
Yeah.
continue talking about this finale because I can agree with you. This is like this was a fantastic ending.
Yep.
I would have been fine if it ended here and we weren't getting a season two. But after watching
Mm,
it, I'm also glad we're getting a season two. Now I am going to rewatch the show another time, just because, like I said,
yeah.
it was a lot thrown at me all at once, and I'm positive I did
Yep.
not absorb a
That's why
good
I've seen
bit
it
of
three
it.
times. I watched it. I watched it when it first came out with Ryan, and then we had to put Sling on it because he was hating, and then now this third time. The second time was probably my favorite time to watch it, just because like, I mean, because they're pretty close together too. And normally I don't watch TV shows that close together because like watching it's basically 18 episodes then. But ooh,
Hmm.
it's something else, man. You could kind of just go into every little nook and cranny of the show. I think you'll like. There's a lot of things to like about it. I mean, I like the like that steampunk setting. Like regardless of it being League of Legends, like we said, I don't really play it. I'm sure that's something that's native to League of Legends also. But I mean, it's a good look. Um, it just makes for interesting looking tools and guns and technology. Like it's just cool when you have a different spin on technology when it's not as simple as like, oh yeah, you just have a phone in your pocket or something. Like it just adds more intrigue, um, makes it less predictable of a show. And if I had to give like one other uh, honorable mention, it would probably be that bridge scene between Echo and Jinx. Because I mean, the soundtrack is another thing that we can. Not one of those nooks and crannies that we could talk about all day. It's just
Oh
that
yeah,
good.
I'm
Yeah, but that
I'm a
bridge scene,
sucker for a good.
just what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm a sucker for a good soundtrack. So when you
Yep.
throw in some of these great themes, and especially at moments like the bridge scene or any of these, like it's and the music choice in the finale and leading right up
Yeah.
to and the explosion, everything like the music. So that's something I can appreciate about this show off the bat because the
Yep.
music is what a show or a movie or anything needs for it to be successful. With shitty music, you can have like such a touching scene can get turned into a fucking a
Yeah. Like.
joke. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they're able to have such a great um, soundtrack behind it really helps all of these moments and
Yeah.
hooked me when I first heard it.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion recently that I need to create a playlist on Spotify just for soundtracks to have like a bunch of stuff from Across the Spider-Verse and Loki and Star Wars, and now I got to add some of these in there. Like I've come to the conclusion
Yeah.
that I need one of those because there's be times where I'm listening and I'm like, damn, really want to hear the scene like
Yeah.
fucking
No. Yeah.
Sandman's theme from Spider-Man 3. That comes in my head a lot. It's a tough theme.
Yeah. No. It's good. It just cursed because of that movie, is Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to just say my animation, like my favorite, like animated scene, has got to be the bridge fight between Echo and Jinx. I just think it's like how much it's conveying in such a simple time period. I think is excellent. Just the animation style in general. It's like I said, very Spider Verse esque, very like custom made to fit a scene instead of just like fitting the show, if that makes sense. Like every scene kind of has like those those styles aren't really used again unless it's with that particular character. Like it's very nice. I mean, we see it a lot in Spider Verse how every character has like their own fucking like opening and that kind of stuff, and has their own like movement style and that stuff. But in this show is the same thing.
Yeah.
But what do you got
I can.
for like at least some?
So least favorite scenes. I don't know if I can really point anything out yet, just because
Mm-hmm.
some of the like I haven't really. I've only seen it once, so I haven't been able to really dive
Yeah.
into
No,
to
I got
anything
you.
too much. But some of my favorites just starting off the bat. I mean, so one of the good moments, Silco's at the end of episode 3 at Vander statue.
Mm-hmm.
The end of Act 1. Very good. Not much dialogue said, but lots of stuff to come across. Lots
Yeah.
of emotion felt.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree with you. It's like it's a very well done time jump or part 1 or part 2 or whatever you want
Yes.
to call it. Because I mean
Part one is
it's
fun.
something that
So the it's let me elaborate a little bit quick. One of the hardest things to do in a series is a time jump.
yeah,
I know we haven't talked about House of Dragon, but something that we've talked about, um, we talked separately about House of Dragon is time jumps, and they're very hard to
yeah,
execute in media. But I think that they did it
yeah,
well, going from acts 1 into
yeah.
2.
I think also the idea of live action time jumps are a lot more difficult because like you kind of have to show something. Like every character need a piece of them needs to be different, or else you're just gonna think it's the same character. Um, But I mean, in animation, it's so easy. Like you draw an extra wrinkle under
You just
some
draw.
guy's eye, and there's a time jump. Like that's.
You could just
I mean,
draw the
especially, I
time.
mean, House of the Dragon is also kind of like it's kind of off the chain with some of the jumps it be doing. Like it's not as simple as like, all right, this one was like the creators of the show said that like 6-7 years something like that, right? Like
Yeah, just make it grow
that's
up.
something
Like that's all.
exactly like you can wrap your mind around. All right, Vi was like 15 or 16, so now she's like 20, 23,
Well,
24, something like
yeah,
that, right? It's not something that's uncomprehendable. But House of the Dragon, like it definitely gets close. Like the show itself is, I mean, if you've seen it, it's excellent. But I mean, the time jumps definitely can. There are parts where it's a little, yeah, it's like an uncanny kind of like is this necessary kind of situation? I'd say.
yeah. It's
But
like
this show, I didn't feel any of that.
one of the ones I think like for me the time jump, um, in Dragon Ball Z. That's not really necessary. I get they wanted to make Gohan just older, but that's all it did.
Oh yeah,
Like that's kind of, to me that's just
forgot about that.
a random
Yeah,
time jump to connect
it's more
to.
like
But
where like the plot relied on like that they had nothing more to tell, so they're like, "Fuck it,
yeah,
let's
but
skip forward a couple of years."
this time jump helped. Like
Mm-hmm.
not helped. It's not the word I'm looking for. It was just executed more
Yeah,
in a way that was enticing.
I mean, absolutely. Look at like if you watch episode 3 and 4, like I mean, I've seen it enough times now where like I know what I'm getting myself into. But I mean, you watching it for the first time, like I at least when I did, I don't remember feeling obtuse or anything like that. Like you watch it, and you're like,
No, it
oh
was like
no,
it
all
flowed
these
with the story.
characters are now gone. It's like no, they're still here. Exactly, the characters are still here. Everything's still here. It's just for the sake of Powder not being a 10-year-old killing people. Like you have to advance the story a little bit. Like something needs to happen. You can't expect the viewer to believe on the same hand, like, hey, Powder's fucked up, like, or Jinx, I guess you call it. Like, she ain't right. And it's like, if there was like a 1 year jump, it's like, I don't know if I really have that same like sympathy or empathy towards her. But like when you've seen that she's literally been under Silco's thumb for 6, 7 years or whatever it was, like
Yeah, it's a
it
it's
makes the
hard.
finale so much more powerful too, because like it's literally
Oh,
two freaking family members basically of Powder
I mean the all the interactions. I
and
don't
the
know if I want to
title,
put this.
and the title's hard as fuck too.
What's the title of the finale?
The monster you created.
Okay,
That
yeah.
shit's
I mean
tough.
that goes with the whole fucking thing. That's
Yeah, that shit
I
fire.
like that. Um, I was saying earlier before we had those nice technical difficulties, and I was cooked and couldn't trying to figure out what I was going to say. The interactions between Jinx and Silco. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes.
There, that whole relationship is very weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It
Very.
teeters definitely between like father figure slash like sugar daddy. It
Yeah,
definitely has.
there's some
It's
scenes where
got a weird.
he's definitely grooming her, and it's a little weird. I don't know how to feel
Yeah.
about it.
No, I
It's
feel what you mean, and it's also just because of the ambiguity of her age. Like in a live action, it's pretty open shut, and I think just in general, usually they're a little bit more open about like their characters. But like the director kind of came out and it was like if you look it up, he straight up was like, we like to think it's like Powder's around 17 here. Like there is no concrete like, oh
there's no
yes,
okay.
we have this on the storyboard. Like this is like the concrete number. No, they're more just like, yeah, it's on or about this. Like there is no,
Definitive number.
yeah, exactly. No, but I
Okay.
agree with you. I was definitely
It's weird.
weirded out by some
Weird.
scenes.
Weird. I mean, there's some things where like it looks like he's straight up about to kiss her,
Yeah,
and I don't know if I want to put
but
that under like it. It's a weird moment. It takes me out a little bit.
yeah, for me, yeah, like I've seen it. Like I think it's just like in the. I think first time watching it, I completely understand it because it's like you haven't seen it in its totality, so it's like you don't know like the final episode. Like he really is just like that's his daughter, right?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
finale shows it a lot more. So there's just
Than
more
the rest of
of
the
like
series.
exactly 100%. But it's like up to that point, I completely agree with you. Like you could make the argument that like we're not seeing it, but like it's being insinuated, which is just as obviously just as
Just
sickening.
as
But
bad.
you know,
Yeah, just
yeah,
as bad.
100%.
Yeah. But I guess then moving on. So for me, first time watching it, I don't have any like too many
Yeah,
quotes
I
that
mean,
really
understandable.
stood out like that have stuck with me. But one I do have is uh, I hope you know we had everything and you broke me and left these pieces.
Hmm.
Great quote.
Is that
Absolutely.
from Jinx?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The dialogue is very strong in this, especially between I think the main characters more so. We really haven't even talking about Jace and like in that ensemble of characters, but I think I mean because it really is like about the topsiders versus the undercity. Like the people in the undercity just are inherently more interesting in my opinion, just because there's a lot. I mean, the
I've
undercity's
always been
cooked.
more
Like
interested. I like even like stuff like Star Wars. I've always been interested in like the undergrounds of Coruscant and
yeah,
fucking like the grittiness of it. So
yeah,
they're always it's always more interesting.
100% because like that like the Piltover could be like if you wanted to compare it's like oh yeah, this is like a medieval like kind of like a time period right up there. But when you go down to the undersea, like there's just so much more. You like it's so much more like where the artist like where the creativity starts going right. It's like all right,
Mhm.
it's so easy to be like, all right, this is the city of progress. It's like well, it's rich. It's has a lot of technology. Okay, sure, we've seen that in a million different variations, right? But then you have the undercities, like you just have more of like that. Like there is no structure, right? Like there is no um Like there's no leader. Like there is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like there's no order. Like like I feel like naturally we just go towards like the randomness, the chaos to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's tough.
It's tough. But what quotes do you have? I'm sure you have a few. I've watched it 3 times now.
Yeah. So, but probably a lot, a decent bit come from the finale. I'm trying to think if there's anything else before I go to one of my favorite ones. Let me just look through the quotes on IMDb because I never write down quotes. I always forget to because I'm always like in the moment of like that shit tough.
Yeah, so the worst part about writing down quotes, especially like for me, I didn't want to do it first time watching it, but it's like you gotta rewind it and then go back, make sure you're writing
Yeah,
it down
exactly.
properly.
Is there even a fucking quotes section on here?
It doesn't look like it
Yeah.
because I'm scrolling through too. I don't see it. But what's your favorite? Just come out swinging.
Hold up. I thought there was one more. Yeah, no, you're good.
Come out nuts swinging.
Fine.
Interesting. Come on, man.
Yeah, so regardless, so I'll chill. So I'll say this: just the overall. There's a lot of good themes that are throughout the show, and the quotes that go along with them are great. Like obviously the whole like war, like the whole like basically war that we've seen nothing about between Topside and the Undercity. There's a lot of just like flashbacks, very small glimpses that we get. I think that whole era of it is very interesting to me. But I mean, it's got to be what Jinx said. I mean, what Ahsoka says to Jinx, where it's like the Topsiders offered me everything, independence in return for you. They can all burn. It's like they everybody betrays us. Vander, her, like he's just,
Everybody.
I mean, because it's like we've said it before, there is something so satisfying when the villain, like this guy, that they're trying their best, trying their hardest to make you dislike them, and you like them, right?
Yeah.
Like and that's what I like so much about this show. There is no. That's why I wrote down. It's refreshing is the word I use. It's refreshing when there isn't like some clear villain von bad guy versus goody two shoes hero. Like there is like
because the best part about like the most interesting characters live in that gray area. They do some good.
100%.
They do some bad.
Yeah, 100%. Like I mean, Vi is the shining example of it. Where like she's got kind of like does her own thing. Like it doesn't make her good or bad. Like she's not. I wouldn't call her a villain. I wouldn't call her hero. And, like that's why she's interesting because she makes decisions sometimes that are like like no hero is gonna leave their daughter at some just like some wrecked freaking plant by themselves when they're like 10. It's like, and that's what made that scene so much cooler. It's like she didn't want to, but it's like she literally just watched her kill all her friends. Like it's just conflict. Like conflict itself, like in a character, is something that I think is very interesting.
Agreed. But I guess if we don't have anything else for quotes, I don't know if you have any moments before we get into leaning in. But I don't really have anything too much off the bat. Like this was a pretty cohesive story, especially when you're dealing with a lot of magic. And we say this all the time when we talk about Doctor Strange and a lot of the other random shit in the MCU and onwards. It's hard to really have a moment
because like they tailor fit science and physics and shit to like match the story. Like that's like if there's yites in like a science fiction show, I think there's a problem. Like, I think those are the ones those are the ones that aren't good because like if you're taking the time to actually know, it's like, oh, this doesn't work like that. It's like then you're not encapsulated in the show.
Yes, and the fact that this doesn't have that problem, shows a lot.
I mean, the quality control is just it's like I said, and I'm just gonna compare it to Spider-Verse again. The quality control is just like there's not like any of those scenes like the fact that I can't find a it is another testament to it. Like, they just they knew what they wanted to do. They knew how they wanted to represent it and show it, and there really wasn't. Yeah, exactly. And there wasn't much more to it.
Yeah,
but I'm leaned in.
Oh, we're leaned in. Or I guess I really pulled it closer to me, but we're leaned in.
Oh. Look.
Just put her on the screen.
Let me
Just
get a
do it.
picture.
Just do it. Do it.
Hold up.
Just
Give me a
Just
second,
do it.
motherfucker. I'm sharing my screen. Hold up. There it is. We're looking. There's about to be some cosplays in here. We'll see how it turns. Oh,
Oh.
intriguing. Is Alex get cosplay? Yes, it is. Yeah. So,
Sure.
you gotta. It's also the way she talks too. Like there is. It's a loaded
Mel.
question, right?
We have so much love for Mel.
Yeah. Look, it's a loaded question. Someone's like, "Oh, why is Mel baby girl?" Look, she does it all. Okay.
She does everything she needs to do.
That's what I'm saying. The way she plays Jace, like, look, I respect that. I got mad love for that. Is that her actual actress? Damn. I mean, look, she different, bro. The way, especially that one scene where Jace is giving it to her, like, come on. First of all, that should have been me. First and foremost.
That's
Second
true.
of all, Jace was Little Spoon. Oh, what's this? Oh, intriguing. Yeah, this is it right here.
Zoom in on that.
Hold up, we're tapped in. Give me a second. I just gotta open up a new tab. Oh yeah.
He's getting in there for y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh, she got the lean forward. Hold up.
Just
Hold
make sure it's appropriate for YouTube. That's all we need.
I don't know about that, boss, but we're going in.
Oh shit.
Is she? I'm just gonna
Yeesh.
cover that.
Yeah, we ain't ever mad at that. I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
so I gotta stop. This
Enough
is
of
about to
that.
be.
Enough of that. That's
This is
gonna
about
be
to be very
egregious for later.
uncomfortable. This is about to be very uncomfortable for all the people watching this when I start taking my shit out. So I won't. But just know she's best girl. It breaks my
Yes.
heart if Jinx didn't look so childish, like the way she moves, she definitely got that. She got that wild fat side to her. But just for the sake of not knowing like where she's at, like she could really be anywhere between like 15 to like 20, in my opinion. Like because she's really smart and she's like semi mature in some situations, but she's out of her fucking mind, right? So you can't tell. But look,
Yeah.
if we have another time jump, y'all know.
Yes, sir. Y'all know what it'll be.
Yeah. But shout out
Hold
Mel.
up. Umbrella just said it looks like it's official. Uh, hold on. Pedro Pascal will officially star as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four.
Is that like how official are we talking? Are we talking like some guy on Twitter official or Marvel
No, like
official?
it's official. It's official.
I mean, okay, we'll see what he does. I didn't have anybody in mind for
Interesting.
Reed Richards. Like he's kind of old, isn't he? Though.
He's on the older side, but I mean,
Like he's great. Like I mean,
interesting.
he literally was that man of the year last year. Like that man was ever.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
48.
I'm not mad
Damn.
at him. I'm not mad at
Yeah,
him.
no, I'm not mad at him either.
But
He's one of the.
but
It's like
it's
Keanu
just
Reeves being casted as someone, right? It's like I've seen their previous stuff. They know what they're doing. It's just, I mean, it's fucking Marvel. Like they don't know how to write characters anymore. So
if it's good, I'm on board. If it's not, I'm gonna be tight.
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a boom or bust now. It's like because I mean we've seen he's got chops. Like he's got a lot going for him. I mean, it just furthers gets me tight. Like that whole John Krasinski thing will never not leave a bad taste in my mouth. And I really didn't even I wasn't part of that clan that like needed him casted, but
Yeah, it was
dumb.
still a disgrace. But
In hindsight,
anyways,
it's kind of like really stupid now.
yeah. But anyways, of course, as usual, every Saturday-ish, we take to our Instagram at the Staincast to ask you guys a lovely question, get you involved, and see what you're thinking. This week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, we asked you guys what the worst streaming service is. And surprisingly, all right, DL, you haven't looked at any of the answers yet, have you?
No. I mean, like I kind of like
All
a
right,
little
then
bit, but like I wouldn't know who did what.
Would you say you know which one is the most?
Out of everyone who guessed,
Out of everyone who like what streaming service do you
It-
think
it-
got the most like
dislike by Netflix.
you are correct. Netflix
Yeah.
watched. But we had Ismo said Disney Plus, which I can't necessarily disagree with her, but I can't agree with her either. Their original shit is washed, but their legacy shit is tough.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
the
I'll
Quill
agree
said
with her.
Netflix.
Real quick, I'll agree with her just because of its like its range, like
It's
uh
nicheness, how niche everything is.
yeah. I was trying to think of what the word for it is because like me personally, I'm not watching any of that Disney like the Pixar. The Pixar doesn't really make good movies anymore, but they have a couple odd pearls, right? Like I'm not really mad at Pixar. They're whatever.
Disney too. Like
But in terms,
there's very specific Disney and Pixar movies that I will go out of my way to watch. The rest of
yeah,
them
like
I
I'm glad
probably will
I'm
never
glad
touch.
they're like I'm glad they're on a streaming service, but like, it doesn't need to be Disney Plus, is what I'm saying. Like if you don't want to watch Star Wars, which I certainly don't, because they fucking straight up fucked that one. But like if you're looking for like something new or something you haven't seen before, like there's just straight up nothing going to be on there for you. And like that's my opinion on it, right? It's like
It's just all the classic Disney stuff.
exactly. It's like if you want to watch Marvel, it's like you're not accidentally stumbling on Disney Plus, right? It's like you've been on Disney Plus. It's all Marvel. That's where all the Marvel is. Like it's fine. I think it's better than Netflix, sure. But like I just think it's
Yeah.
the fact that it's so one track minded or one track like it's one like the opposite of like a Swiss Army knife. Whatever the fuck that would be. I'm kind of
A pocket knife. But yeah, so
yeah.
Ismo and Max
It's just sharp.
both said Disney Plus. Sharp, yeah, it's just sharp. The Queel, the Kid, and RP24, not to be confused with Chet Stable, all said Netflix. Which I wholeheartedly agree. Netflix used to be the shit back in the day. It used to be the streaming service
Yeah.
with all the goated shit. Now it's just washed. Now it's got nothing good. Now it's got one good show they release in like 2 parts, fucking once every 6 years.
No.
It's washed.
Yeah,
Thomas
Netflix
and
is just
Fubo?
like
I don't know.
I mean,
what
I
that is.
technically,
But yeah,
I mean, technically, we could go deep, like Voodoo or whatever, like whatever that one is.
Oh, we can go
Like, there's a
50
lot of
deep
like,
there.
in terms of main ones, yeah, though.
Yeah. What were you gonna say about Netflix? My bad.
Also the problem with Netflix is everyone grew up watching it, and they really aren't very innovative when it comes to updating their titles. Like, I feel like they always take away stuff, but they never add stuff. I think Spider-Verse is on there now, though, Across Spider-Verse, so that's a good one, right? That's a
That's
juicer.
massive.
Yeah, like that's big time, 100%. I'm not gonna deny that, but when you've like someone like me who like I had a phase like I don't even like maybe like freshman sophomore year college or whatever where I was just watching movies all the time, like literally I was scoured all of the streaming service. Netflix was the first one to be scoured, and I'm sure that's probably very similar for you guys too. Like it was the first streaming service a lot of people got put onto,
Yeah.
and then the other ones came after it, right? All the copycats came after it. And there's a reason why no one said HBO Max, because that catalog goes back like 100 years. Like that's not even like
Well, there's one person that said HBO.
someone
Max,
really
and
did
I'm sure you
HBO
could
Max,
guess-
really.
Oh, I'm sure you could guess who it is. Just instinct, pure instinct. Who do you think it was?
I don't know, B.
Nah, it wasn't B. Pure instinct, and I'm not surprised that it is this one either. Mumbarilla said HBO Max.
I mean, I guess yeah, okay. I mean, like considering
I'm
his
not
track history, specifically the movie he watched last weekend, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm not like I'm shocked though, Mom. It's like if you got beef with HBO, that's fine, but like their catalog is way too deep. It's like Probably the deepest catalog
They
of
have
any
everything.
streaming
They have
service. That's what
everything.
they got movies in black and white. Like they have whole categories of like noir. Like I think they pretty have no sound movies. Like it's fucking Warner. Warner's been around for fucking forever. They've merged from other companies,
Like
sure,
I will
but
say
like
they're not like the biggest up there, and their price that like they're starting to raise the price, so it's getting a little pricey.
yeah,
But it's still like
true.
they got a bunch of shit. And
HBO
then
Max is
the
like
last
it's like
one,
a
The
slow and
Hood.
steady example I'd give. It's like it ain't doing
Yeah,
anything great, but
it
like
always got
it's
something nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always got something
Their
nice. But it
original,
ain't
their
anything
their
massive.
original, but their original shows are better than Netflix, better than fucking Disney Plus
True.
recently. They got some
That's
fucking banger
true by
original
far.
shows.
That is very true. But the
What were
last
you
one
saying?
was The
Sorry.
Hood, who said Peacock. The Hood
I
said
mean,
Peacock, which
I mean,
yeah, that one's pretty bad too.
I don't watch any. I don't watch any of that shit. I feel like the Peacock is literally for like people who watch. What is that? MSNBC or
I think it's
no,
NBC.
something else.
It's for The Office.
NBC, yes. Yeah, exactly. That was my point. Yeah.
It's for The Office. But thank you all for answering, and of course, stay tuned for this Saturday-ish. We'll be posting another question. We got a good one planned.
Thanks
for this
everyone who
week
voted.
Because yes, thank you. We got a good one this week because I'm sure you'll know what next episode is. But before we get into next episode, finish up our thoughts and our ratings of Arcane Season 1. And if you haven't been here for a little while, we did change our ratings. We are doing everything as a letter system. So, DL, where would you put Arcane Season 1?
I would say A plus, and the only reason why it's not an S is because it's not finished. Like if they came out and concluded it and were like, "Hey, this is it. We're not giving you a season 2," probably be an S. But just the fact that now that I know there's a season 2, it's like, all right, the story isn't done
You
yet.
got to see how that's
So,
going.
yep. But A plus probably, or like
Yeah.
somewhere in that high A category. Like
That's fair. For me, just based on first watch, it's going to go in the A. I think where it goes in A is going to be based off of my second watch as well as season 2. If it goes to maybe A minus or goes up to A plus or S. But as of right now,
Yeah.
just first watch, first instinct, it's going to be in an A. It's a great show, great emotion, great animation, great acting. I can't praise it enough. If you haven't watched it, definitely do. And I definitely plan on rewatching it, especially once it gets closer to season 2 dropping.
Yeah. I just get so nervous with season 2s that take so long to come out. Makes me think like if it wasn't even initially slated, where it's just kind of like they saw how much money it made. And it's like, all right, now we need a season 2. Not the fact that the story isn't finished, but the fact that it made us a lot of money. Like,
yeah,
it's
it's the one thing to worry about, but hopefully it's not, and hopefully that this was always planned and they were just waiting to get.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm optimistic, but we also have a long time working. We're literally like a year out, so which sucks, but you know.
Yeah, so we got.
So anyone who hasn't
time.
watched it, I guess there's no technically any rush to watch it because season 2 isn't coming out for a little while, but it's good. It's great. It's awesome. It's hip. It's what all the kids are talking about. Don't be lame.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it. That's all I have. Any final thoughts for you?
It's a very quick 9 episodes. I went into it. I've watched it twice, like I said before this time. On my third rewatch, I was like, all right, here's what's going to happen. I was just really busy. I was like, I'm just going to watch important parts of the show. I ended up watching the entire show. If that gives you any indication of how much I enjoy it. Like, it's my third time watching it, and I still watched basically the entire show. It's one of those things you put on, and it really just kind of like stays on. Like, there is no, because Netflix is they're pretty good with it. Like, it switches almost immediately to the next episode. Like, they're slick. They've had years to redo that system. They know how to keep you watching. But for real though, the action is good. The characters are good. There's kind of just like a character for everybody. Like, there really is no, like, I know we're talking about Vi and Jinx as like the co-main characters, but even Jace is in that conversation too, for sure. Heimerdinger, his partner that we didn't even talk about at all. I forgot his name. Victor
Loco is even up there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can kind of attach to who you want to. Like if there's a character you like, you can kind of like you have their story. Like there isn't just like, oh yeah, we have to see everyone through the main character's eyes, their story of their events and all that kind of stuff. No, there's something for everybody,
Yeah,
and it cannot be over.
definitely want.
It cannot be understated how the things Haley Steinfeld's voice does to me, and I'm sure Hag.
That's true, but that's a story for another time. Of course, as always, thank you guys for tuning in for this episode, and stay tuned for next week, where we'll be taking over our 100th episode of the Staincast. And of course, as usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, go down below, subscribe, like, comment, ring that bell, go over to our Instagram at the Staincast, follow, push post notifications. Stay tuned for the question of the week for our 100th episode this Saturday. And of course, as always, click that link in our bio to our Redbubble shop to buy some merch. Stay tuned because we got some fun stuff planned for next week.
Fucking cat. Peace out, everybody. Fucking